I voted for Donald J. Trump in the 2024 presidential election, and I am starting to regret my vote. When I voted for Donald Trump, I was under the impression that we would be getting rid of the undesirable illegal aliens. Now I have no one to work on my farm. What am I supposed to do? Pay them a living wage? This isn't handout city. I'm not giving these people no handouts. And how am I even supposed to do that anyway? I thought the plan was to tax the poors. Okay? I thought we were going to tax the poors. I make $25,000 a year. I'm not one of them. I'm not one of them poors. But why did my taxes raise? I thought us good folks were supposed to be getting tax cuts. That was what I thought. Plus, I'm white. Why did my taxes raise, and why do I have no one to work my farm? I do not understand this, and I know that this was not what Donald Trump meant to happen. I know that he doesn't want us good Trump supporter folks suffering, but we are. Donald Trump, please reverse this. I'm a white person. I am not supposed to be suffering. It was supposed to be the Mexican.
I'm gonna say the meanest thing I could possibly say to these Trump voters posting self-pity videos because they're suffering due to his policies. Now, I don't do personal attacks, so I'm just gonna tell you the truth, because sometimes the truth hurts. You don't get to complain. You definitely don't get to complain about the lack of leadership or ideas coming from Democrats, because we didn't do this to us. You did this to us. If you and I are driving down the interstate together and you reach over and grab the wheel and you steer us into a 200-foot deep ravine full of lava and sharks because you think big interstate is corrupt and you thought it would be funny to shake things up, when I scream at you as lava sharks eat our legs, you don't get to be mad at me for being mad at you, because it was my idea to stay on the interstate, and it was your idea that ruined everything for both of us. You don't get to ask what Democrats would do differently with the economy. You don't get to ask what Democrats are doing to help us right now. Those are 2024 questions, but we're in 2025 consequences. This era of the United States right now, this is about the president you elected, the cabinet secretaries your Senate confirmed, the cowering Republicans you elected to obey him in Congress, and all of the very real consequences resulting. We told you these things were going to happen, and we gave you lots of warnings, but you grabbed the wheel anyway. If you want to know what Democrats would do differently, look at the track record going back to the Great Depression. Economic growth, job growth, wage growth, retirement plan growth, all of these things have been better under Democratic leadership than Republican. If you like these things, you vote for Democrats, because it's what Democrats do. I don't care if you like the Democratic candidate. I don't even care if you understand how the policies work. And I'm not going to ask you if you believe me, because every chart and every graph that matters at the highest level for the middle class proves me right over the past 100 years. I'm only going to ask you that over the next year and a half, you come to grips with this fact, so you don't make the same mistake again.
So, y'all remember a few months ago, I told y'all about how Nebraska was going bankrupt. And, there were several farmers who came on multiple social media platforms to talk about how they were scared they were going to be on the verge of losing their family farms, etc. Well, now it's Iowa's turn. So Iowa is the nation's largest exporter of soybeans, corn, beef, and pork. And who is the biggest recipient of those things? China. It's China. And now they are all worried because China has said, no thanks. We don't need your soybeans. Because China made a deal with Peru and they built a big honking port so that they could export those very same items from South America. So now you have these Iowan farmers that don't know what to do because it's now seed time. They would be planting now to harvest, in the fall. And even if they are able to plant and harvest, all of the migrant workers have fled the state. So they have nobody to help them with harvest time. Who knew? Who saw that coming? I don't know. Also, in that big, beautiful bill that Syphilitic Sid is trying to push through, they're estimating roughly 86,000 Iowans are going to lose Medicaid and SNAP benefits. Personally, I think that's the workforce right there, right? Right? If you are able-bodied, as they state in the bill, you should be able to go to work. So I think the worker part, they could probably do something with that, right? But yeah, they say that state went overwhelmingly for syphilitic Sid. More than half of the state voted to put him back in office to screw them over. Anywho, yeah. And then there's North Carolina. He said, no, I'm not giving y'all no money. I don't care how many times y'all ask. Y'all ain't getting no FEMA money because they're about to gut FEMA and get rid of FEMA as well. So, this is not necessarily an FO moment. This is a I'm glad you got what you voted for moment. All right. Y'all have a blessed day.
We have some extremely serious news tonight. More than 100 national security staffers, some of the top people in the national security sector in the government, have been dismissed this evening with only 30 minutes to pack up their desks and leave their positions. The Trump administration has officially whittled down the NSC staff to almost nothing, meaning right now the United States of America does not have a national security apparatus sufficient to respond to possible threats both at home and abroad. All that remains is Donald Trump and his own presidential power. He is actively consolidating power within the executive by firing those around him, by dismissing those who he believes are not fully loyal to the cause. And these 100 national security officials spanned all types of positions. They had only 30 minutes to clean out their desks. An administration official told CNN, quote, "It's as unprofessional and reckless as could possibly be." Spread the word. I'll have a full breakdown on my Substack link to my bio, so subscribe for free and follow along for all the news you need to know about. We have some serious news right now. Another U.S. citizen has been detained in an immigration raid. This time, a U.S. citizen with a real ID was handcuffed and held in an immigration raid before being released. The video of the arrest was captured by Noticias Telemundo, and it showed agents grabbing Leonardo Garcia Venegas, who's 25 years old. He was at a job site in Foley, Alabama. They bent his arms behind him. People off camera were yelling, "He's a citizen." They took his ID from his wallet and proceeded to tell him that it was a fake ID despite it being a real ID. But apparently if you're Hispanic, a real ID may not work anymore. Garcia told Telemundo that they, quote, "grabbed me real bad," that the handcuffs were placed, quote, "very hard on him." He was released after giving his arresting officers a social security number, but make no mistake, he was detained nonetheless. He was born in Florida. Spread the word so more people are aware of his story, and follow along for all the news you need to know about. I'll have much more to come very soon. We cannot keep stories like this under wraps. We have some news right now. The White House is purging its online website of all transcripts of Donald Trump's interviews, public appearances, and more. Right now, you're only going to be able to see the video. You're not going to be able to see the transcript anymore. And part of the reason why some are speculating is because when you read what Donald Trump says on paper, it may sound incoherent, it may sound incorrect. And well, now the White House is only going to be displaying videos of his appearances, videos of his speeches, videos of his interviews on the official White House website. Now, interestingly, Vice President J.D. Vance's office continues to have transcripts of his appearances on the vice president's websites. And President Biden had his transcripts on the White House website when he made public appearances, speeches, etc. But Donald Trump is bucking the trend, and his White House, despite saying it's the most transparent White House in American history, is not going to include them. Spread the word. I'll have a full breakdown on my Substack link to my bio, so subscribe for free. And as always, follow along, stay up to date on all the news that you need to know about.
Trending alert. Hashtag leaving Maga. Are you people serious? There's literally that many people that regret their votes right now. I mean, obviously, but it's trending. Leaving MAGA. I mean, you guys have wholeheartedly destroyed America. And now You're doing a trend of leaving Maga? Oh, did you make a boo-boo? That little boo-boo is causing a lot of issues. I mean, Trump and mainly Elon Musk. Did you vote for Musk too? Because I don't believe one person in this entire nation wanted anything to do with Musk. You better take every one of these little regrets on your little vote stuff, hashtag leaving Maga, and do something about it. Contact someone and start the impeachment, okay?
Hello guys, thank you so much for joining me once again. If you're a returning subscriber, you rock. If you're just seeing my lovely face for the first time, thank you. I'm so happy to have you here. Guys, what do you think about all these videos? I want to hear your thoughts. What do you think? What are you taking? Tell me, share with me. I want you to like, I want you to share, I want you to comment. I want you to interact. Let's have conversation. What do you really think about all these videos? I'll see you on my next one. Bye.